Hey guys, this is my second part of Sunday, September 2nd's video, night video. I'm heading towards, I forgot the name of the town tomorrow, um, the Blue Whale landmark here. I almost want to say Contessa, but that's not right. Guys, I apologize, I'm fried. Anyway, I'm going to be outside of Tulsa. I think I'm going to try to get into Tulsa Monday and Tuesday. No, tomorrow will be Monday. So if I can get in tomorrow somehow, but it's like 34 miles. So the only way to get in is with a ride or public transportation if I got close. But I don't know how big the towns are around the Blue Whale, so I'm just going to play it by ear. But I got to get some banking done, and there's a Wells Fargo on the south side of Tulsa I got to get to. But of course tomorrow's Labor Day, so they won't be open. So at least Tuesday morning, I've got to get down into Tulsa. And then start heading out towards Oklahoma City. I got a really nice email from somebody that heard about me and reached out to me and said, hey, I live in this town, and if you're coming through, welcome to rest here or even stay here. So I appreciate that. I did try to send an email back to them. They sent it today to let them know I appreciate that, but it said their mailbox was full or they weren't receiving mail. So I wasn't being unappreciative if you didn't hear back from me. I think your mailbox is full. Anyway, so I went to church, and church was kind of inspiring. There were some things about it that were inspiring that I'm going to save for the book. But the pastor talked to me, and it very positive, but in a way it was upsetting to me. And I kind of dealt with this yesterday with Pam, who was she's so giving. She so wants to help and save anybody she can and help anybody she can. I knew that me not having a place was grinding at her, and I wanted to just sleep outside, but I knew there was going to be a battle of the wills. And as passionate as she is about finding me a place, I'm as passionate about not wanting to be a burden to anybody. Again, a patch of ground just works fine for me if I know I'm not going to get arrested by the police for vagrancy or caught in some kind of young kids that want to be out drinking some beers and make a victim of somebody. So last night is when Pam reached out, and I talked to Sarah and Brooks. And I think if I mentioned it was really neat about them is that Sarah talked to Brooks, they agreed, sight unseen, and then they went to my Facebook page and my website and discovered that I'm a big supporter of St. Jude's Children's Hospital, and Jet, who I just mentioned, is a patient of St. Jude's Children's Hospital. So that was just one more thing kind of bringing us together. And then Jet and I had the same birthday on top of it, so really cool stuff. Oh, the other thing that I didn't mention, at breakfast, Jet came out and he gave me, if you'd ever notice, I got a lot of kind of bling now, and that's from people that have kind of wanted me to remember them on my journey. And this one was really special. So Jet gave me a few. I want to give a couple of my kids and have a couple more to share. But this will give me a lot of strength, the same way the other ones have. And it says, be brave, be fierce, be mighty, pediatric stroke awareness. I don't think a lot of people, I had no idea that little kids can have strokes. So on one hand, I've got one that says, be brave, be fierce, be mighty. And it talks about hashtag pediatric stroke warriors. So if you guys know anybody or can support that. And on the other hand, the inside, it says, even the toughest days aren't as tough as you. Prayers for Jet Smith. And it's the other thing, Jet has the same last name as I do. So we're kind of like brothers and kin. Same birthday, same last name, both strikingly handsome. So I teased him about that. I said, Jet, you and I have a problem a lot of people don't have. We get better looking every day, man. I don't know, people don't understand what we have to go through. But so these things, Jet, are on me, and they'll stay on me through the rest of this trip. I promise you, until I get home. I've got 2. He gave me 4 more. 2 are going to go to my kids, and the other 2 I'll find good homes for. Okay. So thank you, buddy. I love you so much, Jet. So then I went to church, and Pastor. I keep getting names. Man, I'm fried with names. Melissa, right? Melissa had met me yesterday at the farmer's market, and she came up to me when I first got there and said, Jim, I want to apologize to you. I dropped the ball. I was racked all night with guilt, and God knows we drop the ball sometimes, and I asked him for forgiveness, and I didn't do enough for you yesterday to find you a place, and guys, the last thing I want to do is feel as if I'm putting people out, and the last thing I want her to do is feel like she's guilty of something that she didn't do enough of. But anyway, she I gotta be sincere when I have to give her her space. I know I would feel maybe bad too, so I can't not criticize her for it. I just wish as badly as she felt, I feel badly that she feels that way. But she reached out to me. She let me speak to the congregation before Mass. It was a wonderful Mass. In the sermon, she even talked about what I just talked about, and kind of basically vowed to do something today for me. She told me of a really cool group down here in Claremore that she wanted me to meet. It's a woman that has basically opened up a home for women coming out of the penitentiary to give them a place. And I guess she has a coffee shop, I think, that the women work for her at, and they kind of have this group home as they get back on their feet. And I mean, there's positivity. Right? People made mistakes and are trying to reclaim their lives. And she thought it would be a wonderful story for me to share with you guys and for me to hear these stories. And unfortunately, as it turns out, that proprietor is away on vacation with Labor Day weekend, and the coffee shop will be closed, so I missed that opportunity. But it would have been wonderful. So, to Pastor Melissa, thank you for making this happen and for looking out for me and my family. Please don't feel guilty. There's no need, like I said. And going forward, guys, honestly, I don't care if you let me in your home. Let me sleep on the lawn beside your home, just so I know it's relatively safe, that kind of thing. I don't ask for a lot. People have been so gracious with me. Mike had a cousin in Tulsa that I hope to hear from. Maybe that might be a positive. Otherwise, I'm going to be down Catoosa. Catoosa's where the blue whale is. So Catoosa's my goal for tomorrow, and then we'll see how the legs are feeling. Because I'm going 7 days now, so if I don't do 20 miles in a given day, it's okay, because I was originally planning on doing 20 miles 6 days a week. Really loud over there. Anyway, so then I met back up with the other folks that have been so special to me here in Chelsea, and that was Billy and Pam. And they wanted to say goodbye to me, and I spent the afternoon with them. And it's the weirdest thing. So I've met people on this journey that have become super close friends quickly. But these guys have a different connection with me. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it's because I recognize how giving they are. Maybe it's because I recognize how loving they are. Here's how I said it. If I run into trouble for some reason on this journey in some way, I don't receive very well. I'm trying to get better at it. I don't receive humbly, as I've been told too many times in this journey. But there are some people that I don't mind humbling myself and asking for help. I've done it a couple times in the journey, but it really is difficult for me. And I think the best compliment I can give them is that I realize that if I run into a little bit of a jam, I will reach out to them, whether it's to find a solution for a problem I have or something like that. So, and it was really hard because I spent hours with them yesterday talking. I spent a few hours with them today, and we almost had to say goodbye because we had to move on with the journey. But I think they could have stayed here for 5 more hours talking to me, and I could have stayed 5 more hours talking to them. There was nothing forced. We think we were learning about each other and sharing. It was just a really, really special, unique kind of relationship. So to Billy and Pam, much love, and thank you guys for being who you are. As far as that goes, one of the things I did get to see today, and I shared a video with you, was the totem pole down in Foyle, Oklahoma. Pretty cool thing. Very cool landmark. I remember Kelly and Scott up in Indiana had told me about it, and I got a chance to see it and share it with you guys. When you see it in person, and you go inside and you look up, just phenomenal, really. And the guy did this with very little resources. I mean, mostly created by hand, how he did it. And I went over to kind of the gift shop, and I rarely on this journey, even though I've wanted to buy a bunch of things as memories, I got to carry them. I went over and I bought myself my own bling. I don't know if this little dream catcher or what, but I wanted my memory of this day I wanted this memory with Jet and Sarah and Brooks, and I wanted memory with Billy and Pam and Pastor Melissa, and so I got that. So that having been said, made it down into Claremore. I always want to say Claremore, and kind of decompressed a little bit. Was able to talk to the kids. I miss them like crazy. And so anyway, I'm going to post this later along with this, but I got a question today from Tom Lane, a buddy of mine that I met on the journey, and Tom said, hey, when do I think this will be done? And here's the answer to that question, Tom. I originally thought the journey would take me to mid-December. Then I thought, because I was ahead of schedule, I'd be able to do the beginning of December. But the truth of the matter is, it's still unknown for another couple of weeks because I don't know how the West is going to treat me. And what I mean by that is, when I get, as an example, when I get past Oklahoma City, the next town of any substance is, I think it's called Westmoreland or something like that. But it's 38 miles away. That's more than one day's worth of walking. I don't want to walk, and I'm not saying it's going to happen, right? The story hasn't unfolded yet. I don't want to assume anything. But to walk 10, 12 hours and go 20 miles to meet nobody and sleep outside in the desert just isn't what this journey is about. This journey is about meeting people and sharing their stories, whatever they may be, good, bad, or indifferent. So as an example, New Mexico is 363 miles across. So at 20 miles a day, that's 18 days across New Mexico. There aren't 18 towns along the way for me to go to. So I haven't decided or figured out how we're going to do this. Whether I go into Albuquerque and spend a few days, whether I sleep outside, I just don't know how I'm going to do that. But to my point, let's say New Mexico would be 18 days across, and somehow because of whether I take Greyhound like somebody suggested, whether an RV association calls me up and wants me to hang out there, whether the 66 association I inquired about sends somebody out to share the state with me, however it is I get out there, maybe it's not 18 days, maybe it's 10 days, maybe it's 11 days. But my point is that's another week closer. So in my heart of hearts, it's a big truck. In my heart of hearts, I am hoping that I can find a way to be home to my kids before Thanksgiving. Or have my kids meet me out here before Thanksgiving. That's my heart of hearts hope. But I don't know yet. I just don't know because I don't know how this is going to play out. So some people have told me head down to Phoenix and take Route 10 across. There's more towns. Some say stay 66. Hell, I'm still hoping Phil Vassar picks me up tomorrow and takes me out to Grand Junction, Colorado. So there's still too much unknown. But my goal selfishly would be to be home before Thanksgiving. I think more realistically, I'd say I'm going to be ending sometime towards end of November, beginning of December. And then that's the best I got. So guys, there's a lot of background noise. It was a fun day, great people, great town of Chelsea, the town without wireless, but really great people. Love you all. Thanks for following. I'm going to try to post these for you.